Hi, this is Heather Westlake, a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I wanted to show you today some samples that I've made with the Ornate Style bundle. It's part of the early release from the new catalog that's coming in June 2020. It comes with some designer series paper as well if you want to order that. I'll show you more in a minute. It also comes with 2 colors of ribbon and these gilded gems. The stamp set in this bundle is called Ornate Style. Comes with these beautiful flower images and some swirly fancy things. Also comes with these beautiful dies, and they're great to cut out rectangles, as you can see, or certain frilly ornaments that you can use down the side of a card. So I'll show you some more samples with that. I wanted to show you some samples with the designer series paper as well. I also wanted to show you I don't have this one, the Ornate Thanks bundle, yet, but it also is available at this time. Has a lot of beautiful words and then dies that can be used down the side of a card. So here are some of the papers that come in that designer series set. There's these. There is a pack that has 2, and so you can see they're double-sided, 12 by 12. I've already cut out of that one. The next 2 have these beautiful, I don't know if you can see that if I move it, shiny gold that's been basically embossed on white. Great to color with the blends or alcohol markers. I'll show you some samples of that in a moment. The next 2 pieces, again, I'm trying to show both sides of the designer series paper. Same thing, it's got that beautiful gold embossed. This one has really pretty gold embossed design on an old olive and then a pattern paper. The next one has some daisies and also this color. And the last 2 are these. This is mint macaron in the background here that's embossed, and then flowers. I want to point out as well on the back of the designer series paper, they also tell what colors coordinate. There's Bumblebee, which I'm guessing is one of the new in colors coming. Early Espresso, Mint Macaron, Old Olive, and Terracotta Tile, along with Whisper White. So let's get right into the samples. I want to say right off the bat that all of these samples were made from other ideas I saw. Some were inspired on Pinterest. So you can go to my Pinterest board, just go to Pinterest and look up other pinners, and that's Heather Westlake. And then you can click on any of the boards that you want to follow of mine. So this first sample is actually stamped with Versamark on shimmery white, and then I embossed it with white embossing powder and then colored it with the aqua painter and the ink from inside of the ink pads. This one is one of the ones I was talking about where it's got that gold shimmery paper, and then you can color it with our blends markers. Our blends markers are great. There are alcohol markers. You can order both of them. There's a dark and a light in a color, and they have 2 tips. There's a fine tip and then a bold tip that's great to color with. My only warning on that is to press really lightly with the big brush tip. It doesn't take a lot of pressure and it can break down the fibers if you press very hard. So I just wanted to show you those. This one I also embossed, but with gold this time, and then colored it again with the aqua painter and some of the ink from our regular classic dye inks. This one I highlighted the daisies instead of using the whole thing, but I did use one of the dies to put this really delicate pattern across that. This one I embossed with white on vellum and then colored on the back side. It kind of has a look of stained glass when you do that. And then I also used one of our sponge sprayers across to make the background using Coastal, Cabana, and Bermuda Bay in the background there. This one, another one of the gold that was already embossed, designer series paper that's white, and I just colored it in with the different alcohol markers again, the blends. This one was with the color of Seaside Spray, coordinately used there. I have the brick embossing folder in the background, and then I actually colored it just with, again, the aqua painter on some watercolor paper and inks from the dye ink pads. This one actually, the paper is from our Free as a Bird suite in the main catalog, and so is this really pretty pink. I just, again, highlighting the dies in this one, the really pretty filigree that cuts out there. This one, another one of the dies that come in this set. This one, I believe, is on the shimmery white as well, and again, I used the blends markers. This one, another one highlighting the daisies. This one, I don't know if you can see it, but I actually put some of the fine tip glue in the centers just to make them kind of shiny and shimmery and add a little dimension. This one uses the whole floral element, and again, just a couple of those different dies with some gold foil paper in the background. This one really highlights the Designer Series paper. The only coloring I did were on these tiny little flowers just to add a little more dimension there. This one I used our pine wood plank embossing folder in the background. I don't know if you can see that very well. The flowers on these bigger ones I just cut and did a whole nother layer and popped it up with dimensionals. I also put some of our Wink of Stella pen on there to make it kind of shimmery. This one I for sure saw on somebody's post to Pinterest with just blocks of the cardstock, really quick and easy, with the soft sea foam here as the cardstock color that I stamped on. This one highlights rich raspberry. There's a floral stamp in that set that has many little flowers, so I stamped them with rich raspberry for the background and then did some coloring again with our blends markers. This one I used shimmery white cardstock for the background and just laid some colors in the background. It's melon mambo, crushed curry, and pumpkin pie. And then did 3 different daisies also in those same colors and kind of highlighted the daisies on that one. This one has a strip of mint macaron with the gold filigree that's embossed, as you can see, and then again I used the blends. I love the blends, so great to make a 3-dimensional look when you're coloring. And this last one, it was an idea I also saw where they just highlighted a couple colors, kept it pretty simple, so this has got crumb cake and then poppy parade there. So I just want to say thank you for looking. If you want to order any of these stamp sets or supplies, please feel free to go to my website, heathersfunandstamps.stampinup.net. Thanks and have a great day.